What's going on, ladies and gents? Station here bringing you guys today some Battlefield 3 gameplay. Now, I know it's been a while since the game has been released, and a lot of you are probably like, Moose, why the hell is Battlefield 3 on my screen? I'm looking for Rainbow Six Siege. Well, honestly, I wanted to talk about the overall experience of Battlefield 3 and how it currently is between the other Battlefield games of recent times, and just overall on the channel. So as you guys have recently known since yesterday's video, Battlefield 3 is now backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So if you guys don't know on the Xbox 360, you should be able to play it on the Xbox One. Now, I've heard some issues with people downloading it digitally. I didn't have an issue. I had the disc. I just slapped that bitch in and it downloaded, which was great. Took a while. It was like 33 gigs, but oh well. Can't really do much about that. But overall, it was a lot of fun. Although my friends were having a lot of issues with their internet at the time, which did bring down the experience a lot, which did suck. But overall, it was still a great time. It really brought back some of the things I loved about Battlefield. Battlefield 3 was the game where I sunk like 1,500 hours into the game. Like, no shit, 1,500 hours I sunk in the game, you know? That game has been an absolute blast to play over and over again, but obviously with the newer titles out, it really shows in the direction the Battlefield was in, and then how once their mainstream success really took off more with the Battlefield 3, and then how they went towards producing Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1, how it really changed their perception of, okay, well, there's the, you know, we have this big following now, let's try and capitalize it. And Battlefield 4 obviously was a disaster on release. I still think it's probably a mediocre game. In all honesty, I never really liked Battlefield 4 that much. I guess maybe it was just because the game took so long to really get fixed all around. Until DICE LA showed up, pretty much, and it was at that point where I was just like, okay, Rainbow Six Siege is almost on its way out, I don't really give a shit. Also, I was a massive fan of Hardline, but that game also got stale once I, got 6 guns to have 100 server stars on it, and, 100 server stars and all the classes and shit, and it just obviously got boring. Even the whole prestige system they tried to put in Hardline really did amplify. Didn't really help because I was like, okay, what the fuck am I doing here again? You know what I mean? I don't know. It just, a system like that doesn't really fit in the Battlefield franchise, personally. I don't know. I feel like the game isn't arcadey enough to suit something along those lines. But, regardless of moving away from those lines, Battlefield 3 overall really showed that a game that was going in some sort of direction that was pretty cool. The amount of guns Battlefield 3 had was good. Obviously, there was a lot of balance issues. AEK, M16 were the prominent guns. You know, but there were still some hidden gems, like the AN-94 really rose to fame in that game because of how powerful it became. My friend Nick, Dangerous Puppy, has 120 service stars on the thing. That's a lot of kills. And, you know, that's, you know, and it really showed that if you put time and effort in the game, you can get good with every gun. I actually went on my way just to get 5 server stars on every single gun in the game because I loved the game so much and wanted to feel completed. I got every single achievement in the game. I loved Battlefield 3. Now, when you first plug it in back into your Xbox and experience the backwards compatibility of it, you're going to notice not much has changed. The graphics don't look that much better, it doesn't run that much smoother, but of course you're going to have the Xbox One controller, which honestly really changes the experience a lot. I forgot how more fine-tuned this controller is, because holy shit was it a lot more fun to play Battlefield 3 on with it. Now obviously the controller isn't the selling point of this backwards compatibility. Now obviously EA, if they really want to make this game a lot better, they can release it so where other games that have had backwards compatibility with Xbox have run better, run smoother, but maybe it was just hard-coded into Battlefield 3, because you guys remember on the Xbox 360, it came with 2 discs. Like, the game was so large, it couldn't just be run on the disc. Like, I think the Xbox 360's RAM was, only 500 or something megabytes. It didn't even reach 1 gig, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe the later generations did, but that wasn't until near its end of its life cycle. And stuff along those lines. So, regardless or not, you were really pushing a game's limits, and maybe just the way the game was coded for Xbox 360 that there wasn't any room to adjust once it came over to Xbox One. So maybe if they release some sort of HD texture pack, that'd be kind of cool, but that might be pushing a little bit, because obviously they got their, I don't want to call it their juggernaut, because I honestly don't like Battlefield 1 as of recent. Obviously, the grenade spam and gas spam has really brought my experience down with the game. It really gets annoying when instead of taking on a firefight, people just throw explosives. It really takes away a lot away from the gun skill. I don't know, just Battlefield 1's not that fun anymore, honestly. It's just a shit show regardless. But anyways, that's a video for another day before I get ranting. But overall, Battlefield 3 it really showed where people saw hope and gleam of esports, also competitive. They actually even have an esports system in the game where you can host your own matches and stuff and connect and all do all that kind of stuff, but it never really took off, which was unfortunate. Now, it'd be nice to maybe see that there's been these rumors of DICE making like a competitive Battlefield game, like only for esports. I remember Jack Frags made a video on that, and I was like, okay, no, you know, it might not work. But of course, if they fully dedicate this game, like multiplayer only, you know, $20-$40 on launch, depends on how much depth this game actually has, it'd be kind of interesting to see like a Battlefield 3 for, like, you know, remastered, upgraded, bring back all the things that we loved about the game, and maybe rebalance a lot of it. But the maps in Battlefield 3 were just fantastic. Grand Bazaar, Sea and Crossing's a lot of fun. Obviously, the legend that's Operation Metro was birthed in that game. Damavon Peak and the epic jump off the hill. I mean, like, everyone loved doing that. So, the maps they played well, they were fantastic. Now, of course, there were some shitty ones in there, like Tehran Highway wasn't the greatest on other side. Karg Island was okay. It kind of turned into, like, a really quick one side or the other side, very fast. Either you held the objectives or you just lost. There was no in-between ground. But overall, like, there were some really solid maps that can really be refined, even if not just left alone, for the way that they've been made. Now, obviously, if an esports game that would just be remastered in Battlefield would have to be very specific. Now, I'm talking like a CSGO style where, like, you know, Dust 2 is made very specifically. And obviously, a BF3 map is fucking huge, regardless of what you think of it. But of course, these maps could be scaled down. The out-of-bounds areas could be brought in more, or put up some walls or some shit. They could really refine these maps. But of course, they need to make them. When we got that Damavon Peak TDM from Battlefield 4, I think it was Dragon's Valley or something like that. When we got that, it was so disappointing because it wasn't one-to-one scale. It didn't play like the original Damavon Peak. Oh, not Damavon Peak. No Shark Canals that we all loved. And that was something that a lot of people weren't happy about. But overall, Battlefield 3 did bring a lot to the table. Now, I guess more on the lines of what I'm trying to get at and what I've just been talking about throughout this whole video of just Battlefield 3 and its impact of Battlefield throughout its franchises. Do you guys want to see Battlefield 3 come back to the channel? Do you guys want to see us do like a Throwback Thursday kind of thing where every Thursday we upload some Battlefield 3? You know, is that something that would interest you guys? If it wouldn't, by all means, just tell me and I won't put the time and effort into it. I'll put more time into Siege, and regardless of that. But overall, I would have no problem uploading some Battlefield 3. If the guys are down to play, we'll play. If they're not, it's understandable. But yeah, just let us know what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think of BF3. What kind of impact did BF3 have on your Battlefield career? Or did you start after Battlefield 3? You know, because I feel like Battlefield 3 is a very big, significant game in a lot of Battlefield players' history. And it either went really good for them or really sour. So by all means, guys, tell me what you guys thought of Battlefield 3. Tell me, guys, if you're excited to play Battlefield 3 on backwards compatibility for Xbox, or unless you're a PC master race and has to have been playing it regardless or not. Thank you guys for watching today's video. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment once again your opinion down below. I'm very interested to hear about it. Without further ado, I'm the Dangerous Moose, and I'll see you, Sexy Beast, in the next episode. Peace.